Okay, I noticed that the cutoff was 9 minutes and 59 seconds, exactly 10 minutes, and I guess I went over. I just want to touch back on the parts that I missed. After the 10 minutes, I pretty much finished the technical aspect of it, but I want to get back to the major difficulties that I had within the project. What I had stated was that the project plan initially was larger than I thought it was going to be. So the best thing I decided to do was to simplify the project by just taking a small sample, which is just the music part of the media, and I decided to use that just for the theory and for the theory of the project to kind of explain to you what's going on. Other than that, another major difficulty or hurdle which I have seen was that the class is basically taught in Oracle, and I have a better background in Microsoft, which is pretty good because I definitely learned a lot using Oracle. I've seen the benefits, some of the plus and minuses of Oracle versus Microsoft. I didn't get too in-depth with Oracle, but I got in-depth enough to understand some of the major differences. There were some things that I would rather recommend Oracle for. As you all know, Microsoft is not open source. It's not very friendly. Oracle is definitely a lot friendlier when using a lot of other applications outside of the Microsoft arena. Another thing is overall, the class and the project were definitely an excellent learning experience. I definitely picked up a lot from the different projects that we had, especially grabbing some of the information which we have done in Oracle and transferring it over to Microsoft. Some of the research which I've had to do, I really wouldn't get that anywhere unless I had taken the course. And I definitely recommend anyone who is serious about what they do, or if you are a database administrator within a particular environment, go ahead and venture out. If you are in Oracle, see what Microsoft has to offer. If you are in Microsoft SQL, go ahead and see what it is that Oracle has to offer you as well. As far as the conclusion, one thing that I definitely wanted to focus on is database integrity. You definitely want to make sure all your tables and databases have the proper information within. You do not want a number put in where a letter is needed or a Boolean value needed, and you definitely don't want asterisks or letters put in someplace where it's a primary key or an ID where you need a number. That will definitely cause some problems within your database. You definitely want to have some strict constraints on that end. Another thing that I wanted to bring up is security issues. You will definitely be surprised, especially working in a corporate environment, who will try to change what within the database. All information is housed within there, and you definitely want to make sure only the proper people are accessing the information when they are allowed to access. Another thing which I definitely want to highlight on, not a lot of people go into the corporate environment. There are definitely other ventures and arenas that you can get into, but within the corporate environment today, a lot of companies focus on what's called the SOX compliance, which is Sarbanes-Oxley. This came about because of what happened in Enron. And you definitely don't want to get rid of certain information. And from my experience working within a corporate environment, I've noticed that even administrators do not have total access to certain parts of the database unless it is for maintenance purposes. All changes must be approved by a change management group, and definitely want to make sure that security is tight within the database. That is very, very important. Database security is a whole realm within itself of knowledge and application. As far as this project was concerned, I definitely had to focus on a a lot of these things, which is database security, not so much surveying actually, but within the corporate environment, I definitely deal with a lot of database management where I have to get approval for certain changes that I have to make within the database. Most of these changes within the database, you'll notice that they will come from the application. You will have an application interface. You enter in the specific criteria that you need, and from there, you'll notice that it will be saved within the database. So not many people go into a database directly to enter in the information. You will actually have an application front or some sort of web interface which houses the data. And this data may need to be cleaned up, as I said before, certain type of maintenance may need to be run, and certain constraints and integrity. And this is the conclusion of the project and the presentation. If you have any questions, I do apologize I was unable to come in today to present, but if you have any questions within the project itself, please feel free to contact me. I'm also leaving this open to the public itself, so feel free to look at the presentation. If you have any database questions or any questions about anything, please feel free to contact me. Thank you.